The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning. My name is Kara Adams, and I want to welcome you to our Hidden Treasure Moments podcast. If you've watched it any time before, you know that our goal is to bring everyday people, everyday men and women, and have them tell us about their stories. We all live such fast-paced lives that it's really, to me, very, very interesting to hear what people have gone through, both good and bad. You know, our past couple of shows has really been about, people overcoming cancer and overcoming really tough problems and tough issues. But this show is unique, and hopefully we'll do more of these. This show is about owning your own business. It's about being an entrepreneur, and it's about making it through the struggle of starting your own business. I have two amazing guests with me this morning. I have Gigi Mindro Banks. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. Okay. Yes.
And Marcy Ducato. And they are both owners of our, help me.
Creative Solutions Marketing and Printing.
Thank you. Creative Solutions Marketing and Printing.
Yes.
And I met them both about a year ago, and I was just very, very interested in their stories and interested to know more about them. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes with you guys telling us a little bit about yourself, about your business, and really how you got to where you are today.
Okay.
So
well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely.
We're very, very excited about this. It's the first time we're doing a live show. So here we go. So I'm going to start telling you a little bit about me.
Okay.
Like you said in your little commercial, we're both from South America. I was born and raised in Lima, Peru. I came to America when I was 24. So I graduated from a Catholic school in 85, and after that I joined the Peruvian Navy. That back in those days it wasn't as common because it was just starting that. So I stayed there for 3.5 years.
Now tell us a little bit about that, because when I was reading your bio, I was really, really surprised because I didn't know that about you. And so I was like, oh, I want to hear a little bit more, because like you said, back in those days, I don't think it was traditional to have women in the Navy.
No, especially in Peru. My generation was actually the first year who started working in actually offices for the Navy with the uniform as a military personnel. So I really want to pursue a career. I just love the Navy. Of course, I love the uniform and everything around it. And the guys.
I wish I had a picture of your uniform. Like, I would love to see.
She looks good. She looks very good.
I have a few. I can send it to you so you can put it afterwards. I have holding guns. So I learned a little bit, some training that we did because it was part of the curriculum, but we never stay overnight. We didn't have to do any heavy duty training. And I don't know if I would have survived that, but that was,
You would have.
probably. When you're 18, you survive anything. But I would have loved to do that, but they didn't have the structure to do it. They didn't have a school to do it. So, I stayed for 3.5 years. I work in an office from 8 to 5, wearing the key uniform and walking around town with it. And everybody turned around and looked at you because it was so new and different.
You went to the parades, huh?
Oh, I wasn't actually, when they changed presidents for the change of guards, I was there in the main podium.
Oh, my goodness.
So things like that. In Peru, July 28th is our National Independence Day.
Okay.
And we have a huge parade. So all the forces come, the tanks, the horses, the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, everybody has a big parade. Some schools do, and I was there. I was there.
You'll never forget it.
No. So I was there marching a couple times, and I was there on the podium with the big guys.
Oh.
So unfortunately, we didn't have cell phones with phones, so I don't have picture to prove. I don't.
And she is so short, nobody saw her.
No, I was back in. Yeah, so at the part of the uniform with these little short heels. I make sure I got big heels.
You're a little outside of uniform.
Yeah, just in the heel.
But you were cute.
You have to look cute. They're very important. So that was a big part of my life because I really, truly wanted to have that career. So after that fell through, I decided, well, why don't come to America? Everybody follows, the American dream, the land of opportunities.
Yes.
So in 92, I decided to come to America, knowing a little bit of the language because I went to school, and in school they taught you about English, but no papers. So I started from the bottom when I came, and I'm always live in Riverside. So Riverside, California. Never moved to another place. And I started working at this local print shop company where my brother and sister-in-law worked there. So it was easy. They got me in there. But because I didn't have any experience, I started at the very bottom. I did the shipping. I prepared the boxes for UPS to come pick it up. So after the jobs were printed, I put in boxes, sell them, put the labels ready for UPS. And little by little, I started working on the bindery department. Then I went into the office when I got more comfortable with my English. I answered the phones. I did filing. I did accounts receivable. So little by little. So I started with not knowing paper and inks and things like that. And that's what I like about me because I have that background. So I can help you really through it when you do something like that. So I did that. And one time, there was this lady in the graphic department. We used to call typesetting because we didn't have all these full color computers.
Wow.
You had to print, cut, paste on these light tables to do. So she got ill, and I got the opportunity to start working on that department. So I took classes while I was working full time, taking classes at night to learn that. So I did that for a few years. I really love it. I love that part. But through my years in the company that I was there for 23, people keep telling me, you should do sales. And my answer automatically was, who I'm going to sell it to? I have an accent. I can't hear it, but I have an accent. I don't know people. I wasn't born here. It's not like I'm going to walk through the streets. I'm going to find my high school friends. So, but one day, I made the decision. I said, I'm going to try this.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for 6 months. So I have my time.
So you said yes.
I say yes. And I did it. And I started selling my kids' school and my friends and my friends of friends. And one of the things I did, I became really active in the community. So I joined.
Which is how we met.
Yes. So I joined the local chamber, the Riverside Chamber. I joined a networking group because I truly believe in networking. I volunteer in different organizations. So one of the organizations that I volunteer and I belong to is Sir Optimist International of Corona. I'm part of the NAFI, this National Association of Female Executives.
Yes.
I also volunteer for the Society of Extraordinary Women. National Charity League. I mean, you name it. The Fox Foundation.
Yeah.
So
you're super involved, and I know in our Riverside community.
Yes, and I think it's very important. Not just thinking always, selling, is to get to know people. I'm very social. I love to have to know people, to have coffee, to have breakfast, to have a drink. It's always good. Things like that. So that's one of the things I did. So I did this selling for 10 years, 12 years with that company. And one day I decided, why don't we start our own company? But I'll tell you all about this later.
Perfect.
So in the mix of my life in Riverside, I have to tell you, in 95, I met and married Duncan Banks, and we have 2 kids. Kimberly, who's 21, and she's actually a senior. I can't believe I have a senior in university. She goes
because you had her when you were like 13.
Yes. I was very young and naive. So she's graduating May 10. She already gave us the date, and she goes to University of Arizona in Tucson. And my youngest one is a freshman in Arizona State University. So big rivals. That's it.
Very good.
Yes.
We know you now, Gigi. That's wonderful. So now,
Yes.
Marcy, if you would tell us a little something about yourself, and you can go as detailed as you would like Gigi.
Oh, okay. I was thinking she's not going to leave any time for me this week. But anyways, I was born and raised in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a beautiful family, which I love and I adore it. So anytime I have an opportunity, I go and visit. I am married to Tom Decato. I've been married for 22 years. Before him, I was married for 9 years to one of my cousins. I married
Now,
my
did you know it
cousin.
was your cousin?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's a far-away cousin, but we're related. And that's the reason why I am in the United States. When I first graduated from college, I graduated in advertising in South America. And my parents, as a present, a graduation present, they gave me the trip to come here to visit my family. And we were already dating in Colombia. We met over there and we were dating. So I came here to visit with my mom. And so we were just on a small vacation. And 2 weeks later, we eloped to Vegas.
Wow.
So that's juicy, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
We love.
See, everyone has a story.
Everyone.
The family knew that we were dating, but never imagined that I was going to do something like that. I was this good girl all my life, very obedient, very with the curfew and everything. And for me to do something like that, it's just like. And he was much older than I was. I had just turned 21. He was 46, 47 at the time.
Wow.
So,
Yes.
it was
Family
like,
and all.
he has my mom's age. He's my mom's age. So it was, nobody knew how that this was going to happen. Anyways, it happened. It was like a soap opera, terrible drama in the whole family. I'm the only girl in I just have one brother, so it was very, very bad for mom and dad. I did bad. I recognize I did bad.
See, wait. What is really funny is on the phone yesterday, you're like, I don't want to get all personal. I want to talk about how to be an entrepreneur.
I know. But that's part of why I am here in America, so it has to be said. And when I used to tell this story, right?
Yeah.
When I used to tell this story years ago, I used to cry. So just cry. Now I am very calm when I tell it, and I kind of laugh about it because it's been 30 years that this happened. But anyway, so that's why I stayed. I mean, I married. So from my 2 weeks vacation, it turned into a totally drastic change of life for me. New country, new language, new marital status, new culture. Everything was new.
Now, did you speak English before you came?
Not
or
at all.
Okay.
The bad words, like anybody, like everybody.
A little Islam.
So, of course, I stayed, and I worked for the family business. They own a direct mail company, big direct mail company. So I worked for them, and I learned a lot in that area. Then when my brother came to America in 2001, I decided to start a business with him. And he's a systems engineer. I was an advertiser, and then I have already graduated over here in graphic design and marketing and sales. I had like three degrees. So we started the business. But then 2 years later, he decided to go back to Colombia. So I had to keep the business by myself. And that was very difficult, very difficult for me to do it on my own. But I guess that I survived for a while, and then I'll tell you later what happened. But yes, that's kind of like why I got here and why I stayed here. But I love it. I am a Colombian by heart. But I love America.
Yes. Well, I think that's like a perfect segue into really what we're going to talk about next. We're going to take a quick break, but what we're going to talk about is really your I'm still standing moment. Like, being business owners, me being a fairly new entrepreneur and seeing like all the stuff that we go through to keep our businesses not only alive, but thriving, and so when we come back, if you can tell us a little bit about kind of how you made it through the tough time, how you made it through the early years of your company, and then how you guys actually came together and joined to become Creative
Solutions. Marketing and
I'm having
printing.
such an issue.
I know, it's too many words.
Creative Solutions, Marketing and Printing.
That's right.
And so we'll be right back, and we can't wait to talk a little bit more. Want to welcome you back to our Hidden Treasure Moments podcast. My guests today are Marcy and Gigi. And so I'm not even going to try the last names. I did it earlier. I got through it, so I'm going to be good. When we left off, we were talking about kissing cousins. No, I'm kidding. But really,
Where you play hide and seek.
yes. But really, we were talking about being an entrepreneur and what comes with that, and like our I'm still standing moments. Just a little bit about me, which I haven't shared at all, is I've started 12 businesses. Like I'm in my 13th right now. And, it was the going joke for my family. Like, okay, here Kara goes again, starting another business. You're going to do cookies. You're going to do chocolate trophies. Like, what are you going to do next? But, really, I had that passion. I had that want inside of me that I knew there was something that I brought that was unique and different to the world. And so that was Hidden Treasure. And I'm so blessed that I went through all of those businesses to get to this one. Like I even had a sex toy business. Like I was all over the place trying to figure out. I bet you guys didn't know that about me.
No, I'm thinking.
Talk about it.
Show me the catalog.
It was a good one. I was quite popular.
Yes.
But, when you're doing these businesses and you're setting everything up, I think it's really important to feel a passion and a connection. And I think that part of the learning for me is I was jumping a little bit. I was jumping from like cookies to cakes to candies to real estate, and I wasn't really grounded. I didn't have my roots into what was really passionate to me and what I was going to give back to the world. And so part of my I'm still standing moment in business was the fact that I kept reaching this ceiling that I couldn't get past. Like I could create the business, I could create something beautiful because I'm a marketer at heart. And, you know, I would get it ready. It would be ready to go to the world. And then I would hit a ceiling and I couldn't get any further. And it was realizing that I had this real scare. I had this real fear of success, that I didn't have a huge fear of failure because I didn't mind trying, obviously. Yeah. But it was that I was really scared to succeed because, like, what did that mean about me? Were my friends going to still be my friends? Was my husband still going to connect with me if I was this big, powerful woman? You know, I think my whole life I felt and I was taught that, you know, you have to let the man kind of shine and you have to let him be in the forefront. And so I was scared to let my brilliance shine. And through me surviving cancer and through my life, I realized that I don't have to do that. Like, if my husband loves me, you know, as Kara, the marketer at a credit union, he's going to love me as Kara, the boss, the mogul. Like, he's going to love me no matter what because I'm still the same person. Yes. So, you know, when you're thinking about I'm still standing, like, what does that mean to you? You know, I'll start with you, Gigi.
You know, I kind of skipped that part when I was doing my script last night, to tell you the truth. But one thing...
No more script,
because one of the things, it was very, very hard 3-4 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, like you said, I'm very involved. I join, I'm always involved in committees and join all these networking groups. I'm doing all this social life that people think is just social life, they're just having a good time. No, for me, that was a way of advertisement and grow my business. So suddenly I realized people I was meeting in all these different events were calling the company thinking I owned the company. That part was good. Mm-hmm. But the problem is when they were receiving the phone calls, they were giving it to somebody else. Mm. And they hid it from me. And some people were actually specifically asking for me. So that was very hurtful because after working 23 years in a company that you think is your home, your family, you might not get along with everyone because that's normal and you don't might believe the same as other people. But I was so loyal to the company. I was the only person who advertised, the only person in the whole company who went to do networking and publicized them for them to do that. So it was very hurtful, and Marcy knows because she saw me through it, and it was very hard, months and months going through that to make it understand why. And the worst part is when I approached them, they didn't recognize it. They kept they kept how they had it, and it was very hard. So that's when I decided, okay, we have to start. I have to start my own business. Yeah. So I've been thinking for a while, and thinking how I'm going to do this. And so that's when I approached Marcy, and I said, let's do this. And it took a few months to do it, because it's not something that, I'm going to do this, and here we go, because it's the fear of starting from zero again. Yes. And who's going to follow me? Am I going to be good enough? Because you already have a life, and you already have your expenses, and suddenly your salary is not here. Yes. So it's a lot to think about, but it's having the guts to overcome when it hurts or when you fail, and just say, I can do this. Yeah.
And now, when you left your job, did you leave voluntarily, or, were you let go?
I left voluntarily.
See, and I think that takes the most courage. And the most, being able, I hate saying fearless, because I don't believe in being fearless, because I think we all have fears, and it gives us an expectation that, it doesn't make any sense. And so I feel like that's super courageous for me, for where I was. I was the VP at a credit union. That's what we met. And I knew, which is how we met. And I knew in my heart of hearts that I needed to leave, that I needed to give notice, that I had this calling on my life to be a messenger and to, really promote positivity and do this good work that was put on my heart to do. Yeah. And so I remember going to my boss and, and having the conversation, and her saying, you're not going to be here much longer. And I'm thinking, oh, no, I'll be here about 6 months. And probably 2 or 3 months after that, I was fired. And I was,
it's a shock.
Oh my gosh. I know. I was devastated. I was like, how could you break up with me?
Yeah.
Like, I was going to break up with you. Like, but, you know, I didn't have the courage, and I feel like that was God. And I'm a huge, like I say God, sorry if you don't like it, you know, you could tune out. But, but, you know, God was like, Kara, this is not in your time. It's in my time. And if you're not going to do what I'm putting in your heart to do, then I'm going to help. I'm going to help this along a little quicker. Because, you know, originally I was like, I'm going to leave at the end of the year. And then I was like, I'm going to leave in February. And then I was like, I'm going to leave in March or April.
Something similar to me too, because I told my kids and my husband, January 1st, I'm going to do this. And January 1st came, and January 2nd, and January 3rd.
Hard.
And my girls keep asking me, Mom, when are you going to do it? They were more excited than me. And the biggest fear, to be very sincere, Kara, is I don't know if I can do this by myself.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't do it, is because I'm such a people person, and I went through my life. Duncan travels a lot, that I stay home with my girls, and the only conversation I had, it was with a 3-year-old and a baby, and I didn't want an empty home because both girls are in college. That was one. Because I think if you're if you put the time and effort in a business, you can do it.
Yeah.
And of course, I can't do it all either. So you have to find. But and again, like you said, I think God just put people in your path and make you look. I said, Mars is the perfect complement for the business. The things that she doesn't like, I love. And the things I don't know, I don't care. She loves it. She doesn't mind reading and searching. I hate reading and searching and finding and designing. And she just goes like this and does it. And for me, numbers. I can do all the numbers.
And now, how did you guys actually meet? Because you didn't meet and just decide to join.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you. So, but I'll tell you first, because I do have two moments in my life where they were dark, and I think I overcame from those. And the first one was when I started. I told you I started the business with my brother, right? And 2 years later, he decided to go. So when he left, that was very traumatic, and because big part of the business was what he knew. I mean, it was computer repair and programming and all these things with computers. And people were calling me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, so I was farming these things out, but I didn't even know how to answer questions. So I changed the name of the business. I rebranded the business. I got very involved with the Corona Chamber of Commerce. I started serving the community through Surreptimus International. I joined Toastmasters International, several other networking organizations, and 2 years later, I was very well known in my community, and everybody knew Marcy with the thick Colombian accent. I mean, and that was kind of like my trademark. I know.
I didn't even hear that accent.
I think that's our trademark, and people remember. It makes us memorable. And I kept in Toastmasters. I kept on years and years apologizing, and they said, "Don't ever apologize because people. First of all, people understand what you're saying. Which if they don't, then you're in trouble, right? But they understand, and second, it makes you. Be remembered and memorable. So, anyways, that's one of them. And the second, so I did overcome that, and I rebranded the business, and it went well for a while. But then 2010, the economy crashed, and my business went with it. The last thing people want to think about when the economy is bad is marketing.
Yes.
And it's when
First
they
thing
should think about.
First thing they cut.
So it suffered very, very badly. So I had to go look for a job. And it's very difficult to go from being self-employed to having a boss. God, I also believe God has his ways, and he knows when things should happen and why they should happen. So at that moment, I was working for somebody, then I was let go, then I went back on my business for a short period of time, and I went to network at a team network, referral network. I met Gigi. So we made this connection, and again, the business was just not there and not there. So I asked her one day, so is there an opportunity at the place where you're working for them to outsource or farm out some of the graphic design to me? And she said, Marcy, you got to be kidding me. Our graphic designer went in the hospital like a week or so ago.
2 days before that.
Oh,
2 days
wow.
before that.
Yeah, but then she said the jobs are kind of piling up, and they need somebody to come and take. Well, long story short, I'm not going to go in details. I worked at that company for 4 years. So this networking group might not have turned my business around, but it gave me the opportunity to find a job and to meet who the person who is my business partner now.
Gigi.
The one and only.
So that's how we met.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so that is now how we got to Creative Solutions, Marketing and Printing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got it.
I did it.
Yes.
Very, very good. And so, like, when you think about, I like to ask people, I like to ask my guests, like, when you think about the little you, who you were, 10 years ago, that brand new little baby entrepreneur, and who you are today, and having a successful business and co-owning a successful business, and to all the little baby entrepreneurs out there who are just getting started, or like me, who are like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it 100%. What are some suggestions, or what are some things that you would actually say to help them along the road and to give them some encouragement about how to get through those tough times?
One of the reasons Gigi and I get along so well in business is because we have the same beliefs. And we have this strong feeling about building relationships. We don't want to just do a one-time sale. We don't want to just sell. We want to help, and we want to build a business/friends relationship with our customers, so we have lifelong or very long term relationship with them, and turn into friendship. So when you have in your mind that you are helping your community and helping the people around you with what you have to offer, with your skills, with your knowledge, it just turns into a successful business. That's how we believe in it. When she first approached me to go on business again, I'm like, been there, have done that. I don't want to start it again. I was comfortable where I was. I wasn't super happy, but I was comfortable. And to go back into that world, it just took me a while. But then, her persistency and her personality.
It was the accent.
Yeah, it was. She convinced me, and we started again. And it's been the best thing I have ever done. I mean, the best decision I have made in my life, because when I had it by myself, I struggle. And I struggle. When you are the person producing and solving problems and administration and promoting and all these hats, it's just hard to grow, and it's hard to get somewhere. But when you have a partner that complements my skills, like she said, she has her strengths, I have my strengths. We put everything on the table, and we are growing like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. And I find, because we have had breakfast on occasion, and one of the things you guys talked about is, like, you take a group of women, and some of them are your customers, and you guys go to the beach once a week when it's hot, and you actually do things to create a bond and to create a relationship and to create a friendship.
Yes.
And I think that's really unique, because when you're starting a business, a lot of the times you think, like, everything has to be me. Like, I have to control everything. I have to do everything. I don't have the money to outsource stuff. And I think that was one of the things, if I was going to have a moment where, I see 13 businesses into the future, it was that I didn't have to do it all myself. Yes. And that once I learned that I could find resources, and that I could trust, and I could delegate, and I could trust that other people would do it at my same level. Like, I am a perfectionist, but that is not always healthy in business. And I had to get to the point where 80%, like I couldn't get paralyzed with perfection. And that was like, you know, the little me, the little baby business owner, I would say, do not get paralyzed by perfection because it will never be perfect. People will always, always have something to say that, you know, to make it better or something that you did wrong. And so if you have a real passion for what you're doing and you love what you're doing, you know, the rest of it will come. It'll figure itself out. And that's kind of how I am with everything now. So whether you own your own business, whether you work for a company, it's like, as long as you're continuing to grow and as long as you continue to like crave knowledge, like you can continue to prosper in that environment. Yes. But the second, like, you know, I like what you were saying where it was comfortable. The second I feel comfortable, I know that I'm going to get in trouble. I know I'm getting ready to get written up. I'm like something because, you know, I think an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Right.
And so.
And I was told once a goldfish only grows as much space as you give it. So if you put a goldfish on a small tank, it will never grow. When you move it to a bigger tank, it grows, it gives it space to grow, and so, you know, so on and so forth. So business is the same thing. When you think small, and when you're small, you stay there. But when you open your horizons and you think
say
big,
yes.
When you think big, you drive your business in that direction.
Now, Gigi, we've left you out.
No, one thing I was
I'm going to give you about 40 minutes now.
No. And it's funny because I have my notes, but one of the things I always say to my girls, you know, 19, I can't say 18, she'll kill me, 19 and 21, I always tell them, try everything at least one. When they were growing up, they were very indecisive about sports. So they play soccer, they play volleyball, water polo, swim. I always say try different. Now at school, at college, they try different clubs, they try different sororities, they try it, and find your passion for it. Because the worst thing it is to be working every day at a place or doing something that you hate. Kimberly changed her major 3 times, and she still graduated in 4 years. And kudos for her.
Oh, wow.
And I don't have a
problem.
problem.
This is a lot.
Yes.
It took me 6.5 years to get out of school.
Yeah. No, and I said to her, and she said, Mom, you know, thinking, says, you did it. We just paid the bill. You did it. You put the time and effort and the long nights to study and do it. And I don't care if you change 10 times. You have, who knows at 18 what they want to do.
Right, exactly.
And be. And so I said, good for you. And the same thing I do for Katie. Try it. You know, I hate when people, not hate it, but I don't like it when people say, oh, he's so lucky, she's so lucky. You know what?
Right.
It's when the opportunity comes knocking at the door, you open and do it. Sitting down on the couch, nobody's going to bring you a check. Take the opportunity, try it, go get it. Even if you don't know, you can learn. But nobody can teach you the passion, the ambition. No one can teach you. I can teach you to be an engineer, an astronaut. I can teach you that you go to college. But the desire to be the best, the desire, you have to. So follow your desire, follow your goal, follow your dreams, because it'll take you to a happy place.
Oh, yeah.
And my experience with millennials, because my kids, they're very worried about surviving in this life because it's so expensive. Housing and cars and living, and they always say, oh, how much money I'm going to make when I graduate. And this is my advice. You do your career because you love and things like that. But there's always different things to do. You can do investment, you can do real estate, you can buy shares, stocks, something. Little things that complement your life. Don't just think just working with this is going to make your life. You always opportunities. And think like that. Think big again.
And I was raised like where you, in order to feel successful in the environment, not necessarily my parents, but in order to feel successful, like I had to make a certain amount of money. Like I had to bring in a certain amount of money into the household in order to feel like I was valued and I was valuable. And I think that like if I were to teach anything to my son, it's that the money will come if you follow your passion. The abundance will come if you follow what you're supposed to do. And that when we look at capitalism at its most grotesque, it's that the car is what will make you happy. It's the house that will make you happy. No, and those aren't the things at all. And it's very funny. Once I left that corporate environment, I am the happiest that I've ever been. I'm the most fulfilled because I know I'm doing the good work. I know I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do.
Your passion. You put your passion into it.
Yes, absolutely. And that, I have to, I'm always telling Troy, like, oh my God, but what if we only make whatever, $5 this month, and he's like, babe, don't look at that. Look at what you're doing. You don't trust. You don't have faith when you keep thinking about that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's probably easy for me to say because I have a husband who can support, the both of us. But, I feel like, no, that was God who set this up so that I could live my dream, and then the abundance will come. The speaking, the books, all of that will come because of it. Yeah, and then we made very unique life choices so that we could live this lifestyle. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, like, I don't live a traditional life. My family, we live in 488 square feet. We live in a trailer. And we did that purposefully. Like, I didn't know it at the time that I was going to get cancer. I didn't know at the time that I was going to lose my job. I didn't know at the time I was going to become this messenger and this speaker speaking hope. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm here, I see like that was all God's plan. Mm-hmm. Like we live in a trailer and my son is so happy. Like he's like, oh, mommy, we have the coolest house because our house can go with us to any of our races. And so I'm like, man, it's in your perception because sometimes I feel stir crazy, but it allows us to have, a disposable income. It allows us to live on one income. We don't drive super fancy cars because we know that in order to get to where we want to get, we have to sacrifice today. Mm-hmm. And I would say like with people in general, like I am not a millennial, but I wanted it right now. I wanted the success and the money and, that having that big title, having that income to me in my mind meant I was happy and I had made it and people would love me and like me and accept me. But really, that has nothing to do with it at all. And I had to get to the point where I had to love and accept myself for who I was, be who I'm going to be, and not be embarrassed by anything I'm doing. Because I don't have the traditional lifestyle, but I'm happy in my lifestyle. And one day when God tells us it's time, we will have whatever he says we should have.
And it takes only one person to make you happy, yourself.
Yeah, amen.
You can't expect people, my next door neighbor, my mom, my dad, my husband, my kid, to make me happy.
Right.
Find the things you love in life and make yourself happy and follow that.
Yes.
Because it's so true. Especially women.
Right.
We raised to take care of the parents, but then you get married, the husband, and then the kids, and then the grandparents. And it's like, no, everyone.
Yes.
As little as, and one thing I'm going to tell you is, one thing we decided since we started together in the business, we both love the ocean. Mm-hmm. I love getting in the water and swimming.
I love it.
I'm not a great swimmer, but I love to get in the water and play in the waves. So every Friday during the summer, we go to Huntington Beach. We had a little tent. Mm-hmm. We get our iPads and phones and work from there.
Amazing.
I love it.
And that's the beauty of our business. We could do it from wherever.
Yes.
And it doesn't take much. You just put it in the calendar, get it going.
Yeah.
And doing it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Stuff. Okay. So I think that's actually the perfect segue. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about what you treasure. What is truly important to you in your life, in your business, in order for you to feel like you are living the life that you want to live. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I have a hidden treasure gym retreat that kind of helps facilitate all of this. And, we're also going to give one away to one lucky winner, which I'll tell you about when we come back. But I'm trying something new. So bring your phones out. You are going to text GEM, all capital, GEM 19 to 22828. Again, that's text GEM 19 to 22828. and I'm going to give one of our huge gym retreat packages away, which I'll talk about when we come back. But the last 2 times, I've forgotten to talk about it. And my husband's like, you need to remind yourself. So when we come back, we're going to talk about what you treasure. We're going to talk a little bit more about my retreat that's coming up to just really help us love and adore ourselves. And then we'll start to wrap the show up. So it's going quick. Okay. We'll be right back. Welcome you back to our Hidden Treasure Moments podcast. Our guests in the studio are Gigi and Marcy, and I'm so excited to have them.
Thank you.
When we left off, I was talking a little bit about my Hidden Treasure Moments gym retreat. And the retreat, the day, it's really about giving yourself love, about just appreciating yourself, about, spending the time to recognize who you are and why God put you on this earth. We're doing a few things. It's going to be in Riverside. It's going to be at the Mission Inn. And I wanted to say a little bit more about it because last time I was super cryptic. And so I'm going to tell you a little more. I'm really excited. We're going to do a transformational self-love little mini workshop. We're also going to have facials and massages. You can pick one or the other. You don't get both. Well, maybe it depends on how I'm feeling that day. We're going to do a couple of serenity classes just to help us kind of bring everything back into center and to recenter ourselves and to just recognize that you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you love others. And so we actually have a call. Oh my God, I get so excited when we have a call. So we're going to put our microphone or our headsets on. Hello, this is Kara, and you are calling into Hidden Treasure Moments. Who?
Well, how's it going? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Who am I speaking to?
This is Harold out of Houston.
Oh, hi, Harold.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, but it's not going with the flow of the show.
Oh.
It looks like you say you work for a credit union, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, question: why is it so hard for small business to get a business loan?
That is a really good question. And I was in the marketing department. So, but,
okay.
You guys might be able to answer as well. Did you ever have to get a business loan?
Actually, we were thinking about it because there was an opportunity that at the end of last year to purchase an established business. The most important thing is to have a business plan written, and most small businesses don't have it. So if you start working on your business plan and have it very specific, very detailed, a bank will be more open and willing to give you a loan.
And
with the projections and, you know, the 5-year projection and all that stuff that comes with the business plan. Then the bank will feel much better on giving a business loan.
And I would say,
Okay.
like, I'm not the expert at all, Harold, but like what I kind of saw is that you needed to show some level of income in order for them to feel comfortable to loan out money. And I would say credit unions are probably the best place to go if you're looking for a small business loan, because they're community oriented. They actually put funds aside for small businesses, and sometimes they even look at doing not sponsorships, but kind of that same mentality where you're writing in and you're telling a little bit more. They have a little bit more appetite for that.
Yeah. How long have you been in business?
Right now it's been roughly like 6 years, and everything pretty much been liquid.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of hard on the bottom line, if you will.
Sure, and I think that's one of the organizations look for is not much as how much you sell, is your profit, your margins, and how much your company is, because they're going to invest the X amount of money that you want to get them to you, so you have to show something. So, you know, it's a little bit of
Assets.
everything. Yeah, some assets, you know. I know a lot of business owners, they try to put everything in your company, so you see that there's movement, but a lot of times when you do your tax return,
Yeah.
doesn't show much, so it just can bite you back. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
yes, because on one end you want to do it for the business to pay everything, and in the other end, when you really need the money, you can.
Yes.
Or ask for a loan when in your best year. That's the best,
Okay.
because you can show it. Don't ask when you really, really need it. Ask when you're, when you're more comfortable, that you can just put the money aside, and then when you really need it, then you have the money to use
Available.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's really good advice. And there's also like crowdfunding options when you can't go traditional, or it's been hard to go traditional. And so you might look up some crowdfunding and see if maybe there are some investors who are open to what you're doing. Could also be an option.
Gotcha. And then part two to that, which is better for a small business, LLC or incorporated?
Ooh.
We just
We're
went through
going
that.
through that.
Go with S Corp. Yeah.
And why would you say that?
Because it's better how we figured out, because we started with LLC,
Okay.
and then we actually did transition to change to S Corp. There's more tax benefits because then you present yourself as an employee instead of an owner. And for the taxes and how they do it, I can't tell you really in detail what it is, but I talked to a few people, believe me, and the expertise I got, and they said it's much, much better to go with S Corp for small businesses than LLC.
And you
because
might
you don't get double taxation, and you can do
Yeah, there's a
employees
big
and
tax
salary.
benefit.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
And you
So
might
just explore
also want to talk to your tax advisor, because we aren't
Yeah, we're not.
we're not professionals. It's just, that's what we've done, and
Yeah.
that's what worked for us. And we're in California, and so our laws might be a little bit different,
right.
and the tax shelters might be a little bit different. But it's a good place to start.
Yes.
The Small Business Administration also has very good workshops where you will learn about that.
And that's free.
That's free. Yeah, there are two organizations that we're going through right now, SBA and SCORP. It's
Okay,
S-Corp.
okay.
How do you
It's
SCORP.
Corp. It's Corp.
Those two organizations will help you out with your business questions.
So we,
All right,
we
well,
hope
thank
that's
you,
helped.
ladies.
Absolutely.
I really did, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Have a
calling.
great day.
All right, likewise.
How exciting.
We got a caller. My husband's like, babe, stop being so excited. I'm like, it's me. I can't help it.
Oh, no, I like it. That's very cool.
So if we would end with you guys talking a little bit about what you treasure and the things that really have spoken to you and that you hold close to your heart that have really helped you to get to where you are. We'll start with you. Quickly.
Yes.
Yes.
Two words. The biggest treasure I have is that my husband and my girls support me 100%. Because like you mentioned, it's very hard because we have this mentality, oh, men have to be the go-getters and women stay
Right.
home and things like that. I don't know, it's because he's from England and Europeans think differently. And of course he works for a British company, so he travels a lot. So and I think this support I gave him through the years is where he is because of that. So without asking him, he does the same thing with me. He never complains when I go to a networking, a mixer, a dinner, or something, because there can be crazy hours during the day. Never, if we have any adventures, like we went to Las Vegas last year, and we got this huge account. He was just so excited about it. And the thing with my girls, for your girls to tell you, I'm so proud of you, Mama. I mean, things like that. So I really treasure that we have this support, because a lot of people feel intimidated. And instead of supporting, they go the opposite, and they don't know how to show it. But just having that is just amazing.
Very good.
I do treasure my friendships because being a foreigner, my friends are like my family here. So having their being there for us, it's amazing. Of course, our families are supportive. And lastly, the customers. When our customers are proud to show what we have done for them, and they are like so excited, that makes me extremely happy.
Well, ladies, we have another call.
Oh, good.
Hi, you're with Kara, Marcy, and Gigi. Who, may I ask, are we talking to?
This is Kat Shepard. Hello, ladies.
Oh, hi, Kat.
How are you?
I am so proud. First of all, I have to say I am so proud of you, Kara, for putting out this information in such a positive flow. And I am so glad to see Gigi right there beside you, supporting you. I love this moment. It is such good, positive information. I just want to tell you guys congratulations and thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kat. Okay, we're going to have to high five. High five on Kat.
Air high five right now.
Yes. Yes.
I shared it with you guys, and I am going to keep on sharing it. And this is my first time. I saw Troy shared it with me, so I saw it. So is this a show that we can see all the time? Is it a certain time that it's going to be on the air?
Yes, we go live on Thursdays at 10:30, from 10:30 to 11:30. We're an hour show, and I try to send out like a reminder so that I know people live busy lives, but yes, we're on every single Thursday.
We don't see it all the time through the stream, but I tell you what, I will lock it in my calendar when I'm not teaching. I will be tuning in, and I'll be watching it after. Thank you so much for everything.
Oh, thank you, Kat.
Thank you for
you
watching.
also can watch it afterwards on YouTube. She'll send the link. I think you say iTunes also. So, yes, and love talking to you. Thank you for the support. You're one of the persons I know for so many years. And even though we don't see each other much, every time we see it's just the connection. So, thank you, girlfriend.
Okay,
It's wonderful.
have a great day.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo, that was a record. We got 2.
Yeah, no, it's great. See, again, is people you know through the years, and if you truly,
connections you make.
connections, and if you true and you really talk to the person, not just sell,
Right.
talk to the person, and you know, it's just amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, the support you receive. And I think that's why we're so successful in the business, because we're just very sincere, down to earth.
Very transparent.
Yeah.
I would say that my treasure and what I treasure is really this moment. Being in this moment and being in this place. Like, I feel so blessed. I feel so happy. Like, you know, to have a family, like you said, that supports me, to have a community that will come on the show. And even though they're nervous, they say yes. Like, it just fills my heart. Like, I could actually cry. Usually I'm not the one to cry, but I can cry.
I cry a lot.
But it really makes me feel good. I want to thank you ladies again for being on our show today. Again, we have with us Marcy and Gigi from American Solutions Marketing and
Creative Solution. Creative Solution Marketing and Printing.
close.
Yes.
It's so close. Creative Solutions Marketing and Printing. You guys, oh wait, we got one more call. Okay. This like never happens.
Yay! We love it.
Hello, you have Kara, Marcy, and Gigi. Who, may I ask, is calling?
Mary Barnett.
Oh, Mary!
How are you?
I can see you guys putting on your headsets. It's so cute.
Oh, how are you, Mary? I love you, Mary. You were so kind to me on Facebook yesterday.
Oh my gosh, there is a delay on the line, so I have to stop looking at my computer. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hi, ladies. I'm waving at you.
I'm waving back.
Hi, Mary.
You guys all look so beautiful. Look at you.
Oh,
Thank
thank you. Thank you for calling in. It's so sweet.
Yes.
Oh, well, I just wanted to, just like Kat, I was calling to cheer you on and say how awesome this is. It's so cool. You have a live show and a podcast. You go, girls.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'm going to have to ask them to come back. They're bringing me all kind of goodwill and fortune.
Yes.
I won't say luck because, we worked at this.
Yes.
And what's so crazy is I just posted about your book yesterday, and then Troy sent me a little reminder. The messenger, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tune in. This is
Oh, I know your message about my book. It was so, so sweet. I appreciate it. I was telling Troy, that was amazing. Again, I've written Hidden Treasure, 5 Steps to Transformational Self-Love. And I just I can't even believe how much my community, my friends have really supported it. And so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And like I said in my post, I thought I knew you, but when I read that book, I'm like, dang, and this journey, and I'm so grateful for you and what you've done. I feel like we've known each other for years, all three of you ladies. It's we've been around forever. And it's just such a blessing to see you guys thrive and catapult your businesses and make such an impact on the community and on your world and on your children. And this just makes me so happy. I have chills, and I am a crier, so don't get me crying, girls.
We love you, Mary.
Yes. Thank you, Mary, so much.
Keep doing good things, and you have a fabulous day. God bless you guys.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye. This is so cool.
All righty. So this has just been an amazing moment. I would love to have you ladies back anytime. This has been so fun. I want to say actually, I'd like you to say kind of your thank yous, and then I'll end with saying mine. You can go first.
Just thank you for the opportunity. Can I just say a little bit about the company?
Please.
Yes. So it's Creative Solutions Marketing and Printing. You can check us out on the website. It's Creative Solutions MKTG, abbreviation for marketing.com. And we're in social media. We can help you from as little you want us to the big stuff you want. So from promotional products, all your stationery from your office, your clothing.
That's right.
That's what we do. Marketing yourself, web designing, social media, email campaigns. Just go to the website. You'll find the contact information. Email us. We would love to just give the opportunity to give you a quote. The beauty that Marcy and I have is both work our homes. So she works in Corona, I work in Riverside. I guess that's why we get along so well. And because we've been in the business for so long, and the great contact and relationship that we have with our vendors, that I really shop around for your needs. I don't just go on website. Like a customer just 2 days ago went on the website. They want these coasters. They send me a screenshot. This is what I want. And I said, guess what? I have a better factory than that. Even though that's my website, but because I just order some for ourselves and things like that. So always try not just to take the order, is to give them more for their money. And guess what? They increase the quantity. I got the order automatically. And that's what we want, is to help you. Everybody loves to sell a penny or two. Everyone.
Yes.
So why not? It doesn't matter if you're a big company or a small company. Everybody's on a budget these days.
Right.
And if we can help to promote your company and grow, that's the best satisfaction that we can have. Yes.
And Marcy.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you for having us here. Thank you, all of you, for listening and watching. Radio nowadays is also TV, which is very cool. I want to leave you with two things. The entrepreneur on me want to tell you, never underestimate the size of a customer. You can start with a very small order, and if you do things right, it can turn into something huge. And the woman and me want to tell you to work from your heart, to put the passion and love in what you do, and that will reflect on a great end product. and you will have fun while doing it, so you will never feel like you're working.
Oh, that is so good. And I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Marcy and I want to thank Gigi. This has been a blast. It's been great getting to know you. I want to thank the Poetess. I want to thank Morris Media Studios for having us, because this has absolutely been an amazing experience. My family who supports us and loves us, and definitely you, the viewer and the listener, for just kind of coming along to the journey with us. And we hope that you tune in again on Thursday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. Until we meet again, please find the treasure in all of life's moments.
Bye.
Bye.